Altiers about their same-day delivery. Call today, get it today. Open 7 days a week. Altiers Home and Garden Center, South Avenue at the corner of McClurg Road in Boardman.
If you don't stop at the Stadium GM Used Car Superstore, this is what you're going to miss. The finest selection of inspected and safe pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the valley. You'll miss great prices like cars from just $119 a month, SUVs from $149 a month, and trucks from just $189 a month, all with zero down. And you'll miss getting the financing you deserve no matter what your credit status is. Log on to StadiumGM.com to shop, or stop down at the store that always saves you more, the Stadium GM Used Car Superstore in Salem. See dealer for details.
Summit Racing Equipment presents the Hot Rod Super Nationals at the Kentfield Fairgrounds, July 5th through the 7th. Classic and late model muscle cars, hot rods, trucks, and motorcycles. Bitch and rides will be there, plus Optimus Prime replicas, FMX stunt team, and more. Visit supernats.com.
It's the tech guy, Leo Laporte. Sunday nights at 6 on News Radio 570 WKBN.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and we get to do this show on Saturdays, talk about things that are happening in tech. We give you the floor for the entire 2 hours, and we could talk about things that are happening with you. If you have any questions, want to chime in, all program long. You can also text me, 330-333-1570. You can program that phone number into your contacts, and that way if you're buzzing around and something catches your attention on any of the programs here at 570, you can text any of the hosts and participate in the program that way. Again, that number is 330-333-1570. Okay, right off the get-go, later in the program, we're going to have some guests on, but figure we'll get all the computer stuff out of the way until then. So the one thing was kind of like upsetting me a little bit over the last couple months is that my home Wi-Fi was less than spectacular. And I always think that, I am my own lab, and in order for me to talk about things, I have to be able to do those same things. And I use my life sort of as that guinea pig to be able to explore into, different territories. So really, I have to experience iPhone and Android and Microsoft, right? I have to have all these things because you and the public expect when you have a problem with whatever, I can't just show up and say, well, no, I know iPhone. So your Android's going to have to just take a back seat. And that includes the technology as far as Wi-Fi goes. So, if you've dealt with us for any length of time, every year we sort of evaluate the stuff that's on the market. And we have our tried and true, the stuff that is nice and reliable that we have trust in. But then we entertain the new technologies that are coming out. So where, we loved DDWRT because DDWRT was a piece of software you can load onto a traditional consumer-grade router, and you can get these really high, utilities out of your router where you could make it perform like it were more of an enterprise type of a piece of equipment, and for, the hardware that only cost you $100. And so we really got to know DDWRT very well, and it pretty much loaded on most hardware. So whether or not we needed, VPN, or we needed port forwarding, or any other host of services, we can usually get dynamic DNS. A lot of those things that are traditionally server roles, we can get consumer grade router, and it never needed to be rebooted, and it was just solid, and it made the routers perform even a little better. So we really fell in love with that software. And then so we did our hardware requirements were pretty low because we would overcome any shortcomings with the hardware with the software that was running on it. And then the hardware started getting even better with N and then AC and then mesh. Wireless really caught my attention. So what mesh is it's sort of like you have multiple devices that are aware of the other devices. And so almost like cell towers where you set up these access points around your house, and as you move around your house, your devices switch from device to device. So there's some intelligence behind it that knows, if you're connected to device in the living room and you move into the kitchen, your connection needs to migrate with you rather than trying to stay in love with the original access point where you're getting the weakest signal. It allows you to sort of move from cell to cell without breaking connection. And it got really good at it. So the first one that we started using was Ubiquity. That was the brand name, and then they had the model that we'd use would be Unify. And these looked like little white spaceship discs It was power over Ethernet, so it was amazing. So what power over Ethernet is, when you have this networking equipment, usually you have to give it a network cable, and you also have to give it a power cable. And so where you place these things is really dependent on where you can get one of those two things or both of those things. Now, power over Ethernet, there are 8 wires in a traditional Ethernet cable. Some of them are communication, but there are a couple that are reserved for powering devices. So you can actually put current over the Ethernet cable, plug it into an injector or a power over Ethernet switch, and then your device gets power from the Ethernet cable, and that's one less cord you have to worry about. So whereas maybe you had to run extension cords or put power jacks up in the ceiling in order to host a ceiling mount access point, now you could just run your network cable there and then worry about getting it plugged in wherever it plugs in, where the switch is or your router is or whatever. So power over Ethernet's amazing, especially when you have things like security and surveillance equipment. You don't want to have to power these things by power adapter because they could be super easily unplugged and then you have no camera. So anyway, going back, so these access points, you spread around your house. And what's nice about it is the access points are usually cheaper than a full-blown router because it's sort of like, especially the Unify has really dumb programming. It doesn't have to do a whole lot except for connect to home base, get its software, and then its settings, and then just do its thing, manage connections and hand off things to your switch and hand off things to your router. And so they were able to put every penny into the development and the engineering of the antennas and the bandwidth, and they didn't have to worry about building so much capability in it. The simpler the device, the better that it works in a network scheme. And so these access points, we really liked them because we can put them in our weaker spots and really have great coverage. We have a couple of big facilities, like hospital-like facilities, that where we used to have to put maybe 2 or 3 access points to be able to cover an entire hallway, where you might be able to put one of these in the middle of the hallway and cover the entire hallway and still get really good reception. Some of these are so powerful that we end up having them too close rather than too far away, where devices see too strong signals and your devices get confused and go back and forth between which one it wants to connect to, and that creates sort of like a latency effect because it's spending so much time negotiating where it should be connected rather than just pulling down data. So in this case, some of these are less is better because of that, because of that reason. So then fast forward, that was like the first iteration of the mesh wireless, and then all of the other players started producing versions of this. So we had Google that created one. I think one was like EEON. I forget. I'll look up the brand name later on, but it's another version of mesh. So I decided I had my house done in the first version, which is the wireless G, and then an AC one came out a little bit later. So I had one dedicated to sort of the outside traffic. So I had one mounted on the outside of my house, and I had one mounted in the basement, and I had one mounted in the sort of the garage. And I had full house coverage by these 3. One of them was super good, so I dedicated that to all of my streaming and all of the stuff that needed to be fast. And then I dedicated all the rest of them for just regular traffic. And it's really was good. It reached all the way out to my patio. It did the first floor, it did the second floor. Everything was kosher as far as good coverage and speed. All of my streaming devices, Fire Sticks, Apple TVs, whatnot, did really well over the connection. And then it was time to start upgrading the access points, and instead of just buying it, I was really happy and still am with the Ubiquity stuff. But when what got time, I started maybe dabbling in some of the other brands to see how they were functioning, and so I started using the Google Wi-Fi. And I have some of the other Google devices. I have the Google Home device. And so I wanted to see how well they would play together and see if I can integrate anything. But anyway, I bought these little pods. They come in a 3-pack, and they're just called Google Wi-Fi. The 3-pack is like $250, I believe. And you basically get all of them are capable of being your primary router and also just an access point. And what surprised me with really the controls and how they're set up. The intimidating part of buying a new router is plugging it in for the first time and managing everything, right? And what was nice about this, rather than being able to having to log into a browser, put the IP address in, and put all your settings through a web GUI, there was a Google Wi-Fi app that you threw on your phone, and you configured the entire thing through the phone app. And so it was super simple to get going. In fact, I kind of questioned whether or not, the default stuff was going to, do anything. I almost thought it was exposed to, open security risks and whatnot. But it really, because my phone was already connected, it made some assumptions and it did a really good job of pre-configuring. And then the access points, and this is the cool part. So the main one, or whichever one you pick to be the main one, you plug into your modem. So you plug it into your Spectrum or your Armstrong or your AT&T modem, and then that pod becomes your main router. Now, it also is Wi-Fi, so you configure it the same way. But the second pod you bring into the network, it's just going to be an access point. So you don't need to plug any cable into it other than a power brick. So it's nice and small. It looks like it looks like a coffee mug. And it's okay. It's pretty pleasing to look at. So we have them just sitting on countertops wherever there's an outlet that we can set it up, and so you put them about 2 rooms away. Okay, so you want to set up in a room and skip a room and put it in the next one, and that is suggested to give you sort of the best coverage that you can get. And I try to do my whole house in using 3 of them, and I had some weak spots in it. So just the other day. Again, I was suffering, and I was like, come on, you do this for a living, Joe. Come on, just get it so that if somebody walks in your house, you're not going to be embarrassed that you talk about this Wi-Fi stuff, and then they're going to get a 0.2 megabits per second connection when they come into your back room. So I had to adequately cover my own house just so I wouldn't be embarrassed. But anyway, so I'm really impressed. I sort of, it takes a finagling a little bit to figure out the placement that's going to give you great, adequate network connection. Because here what happens is the pods connect to each other using one frequency protocol, and then they do the wireless on a completely separate one. So the pods are connecting to one another to be able to connect wirelessly to one another, and it's a strong, fast, good bit of spectrum that they've dedicated to speaking to one another. So I have one in the basement, and that is my main one. And then its responsibility is to push that signal up to the second, the main floor, to be able to give it enough connection to then they start talking to one another. And it works extremely well, even on the pod connecting through another pod. I mean, I was getting 400 megabits per second on the network test, and that was really good for a leapfrog through another deal. So what are the considerations for how much speed you need to be able to do your network side? We met with a customer this week who was paying for like 300 megabits per second, and when they signed up, they were happy with that. But if you went around and tested any of their equipment, they weren't getting above 10 megabits in any location in their house. So they were paying for the possibility of getting 300 megabits per second, but really they were never getting anywhere close to that. So if they lowered it to 200, they'd still get 10. If they lowered it to 100, they'd still get 10. So it wasn't a problem with their internet speed per se, but it was getting that internet speed to the devices. And so, if you're, for instance, you pay for a 400 megabit connection speed, but none of your equipment will give you is fast enough to keep up with 400 megabit. No matter what happens, you'll never get above that level. So if you're running wireless G on your machines, that is 54 megabits at best, right? You won't really get over 54. So you're paying for a 400 megabit connection, and your wireless will never get above 54 megabits per second. So it's one of those things where you have to start considering, and look at your bill and see what you're paying for. If you're looking like for Armstrong, they give you a couple tiers, 1, 2, and 3, and each has a different speed level that you can get. Do a speed test and find out if you're getting anywhere close to what you're paying for, because that really does matter. You might be overpaying on your bill and never even tasting the speed that you're paying for. So a couple of my favorite speed tests, I think I don't know it's pronounced. It's Ukala, whatever. Speedtest.net is powered by some software company called Ukala, I think it is. Anyway, speedtest.net, that will give you sort of outside your network speeds, and then both Spectrum and and Armstrong have inside network test speeds. So if you want to ever test what your connection with Armstrong is, because that's really what they're selling you is their connection. You got, I think it's speedtest.zoominternet.net is their speed test as well. So you can find out what you're getting versus what shows up at your on your statement. So pretty important. I mean, all of our devices and all of our media and all of our streaming comes over that Wi-Fi connection. So it behooves you to make sure your network connection at your house is as strong as it could be. Or else you're going to buffer, or you're going to get bad quality on the devices. I mean, I didn't even realize how many devices were connecting through my network. I was like 32 devices. And I was in my head trying to count like, all right, well, we only have 3 computers. We only have a phone each. How do you get to 33? And I started thinking the Apple TV connects, the Fire TV connects, the thermostat connects. I mean, there's so many devices that are requiring that Wi-Fi in order to function. You better make sure that it works right, or else you're building it on an infrastructure that's going to be flaky at best. All right, we could take your calls all program long, so feel free. Give us a call, 330-729-9977. We also have a couple of guests coming in at the 2 o'clock hour, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking with a couple people. I'll announce it on the next break. So you're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
Contrarian, pariah, enemy. People have been called a lot of names for refusing to back down.
Throughout history, people have been denounced for dissenting from the majority, but that didn't stop them from speaking up. Every week on Unpopular, we'll tell the story of someone who challenged the status quo, connecting the dots between their history and the history we're making today.
From iHeartRadio, #1 for podcasts, Unpopular.
Hear the premiere episode of Unpopular Wednesday at 10 here on News Radio 570 WKBN.
This is retired Lieutenant Colonel Jim Reese. I own and operate a disabled veteran business that is dedicated to protecting you and your loved ones here in the United States and abroad. During my years in the Delta Force, it was my passion to keep people safe. As a civilian, my passion continues. My team and I at Tiger Swan built the most robust personal protection smartphone app available, called Guardian Angel. Tiger Swan's Guardian Angel is the only personal security device that immediately connects you to first responders 24 hours a day. God forbid you or a loved one were to find themselves in a dangerous situation in the U.S. or abroad. Simply press the SOS button inside of the Guardian Angel app on your smartphone, and in real time, the Guardian Angel dispatcher will locate you. The application's two-way video capability allows us to see your surroundings, and the geolocation capability allows us to send first responders to your exact location to physically rescue you if necessary. Visit the App Store today and download Tiger Swan Guardian Angel.
Hi folks, Scott Jones here from Youngstown Propane Fireplace and Patio. We've been in this valley now for 37 years, selling propane, fireplaces, grills, outdoor furniture, and so much more. If you haven't stopped in for a while, you got to stop by this season to check out our new selections of patio furniture, all the highest quality at great prices. We've also got fire pits to give you that warm, cozy feeling on those chilly nights. Or if an outdoor kitchen is on the horizon, we've got the perfect built-in grill for you. Youngstown Propane Fireplace and Patio on Route 224 in Canfield.
For over 40 years, Bronx RV has been a family-owned and operated local business. If you're looking to go camping in the great outdoors, or you're just wanting a home away from home, Bronx RV has a great selection of new and used RVs. Bronx RV provides simple yet competitive pricing and offers a full parts and service department. Bronx RV pays top dollar for trade-ins and gives you the freedom to browse at their location on Route 45, just 4 miles north of Salem. Go to Bronx.com today to check out their inventory.
Quiet, comfort, and affordability. The most important things when choosing a place to live. Westchester Square Apartments offers something to fit every need and budget. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and studio apartments. They rent apartments, but they sell convenience. You can find luxury living at Westchester Executive Apartments, 1,200 square feet of upscale living with carports, or independent senior living at Westchester Commons, strategically located in the center of Austintown, right next to Route 11. For the perfect apartment, call 330-799-5758. Come and be a good neighbor in a community of good neighbors. Westchester Square Apartments, Austintown.
We can give our children a strong economy and a clean environment. The future is in our hands. Fair and responsible energy reform for today and tomorrow. The Ohio Clean Air Program ensures more clean energy generated in Ohio by Ohioans for Ohio. By modernizing our environmental goals, we encourage the growth of Ohio-made energy from wind, solar, and other sources that reduce carbon dioxide in our air. And by investing at home, not in other states, we will create new jobs and a better economy, helping Ohio families and entrepreneurs. The Ohio Clean Air Program improves our environment, creates jobs, and lowers what you pay for electricity. It's time to reform Ohio's energy goals. Protect what's precious. Call your representative at 800-282-0253. Encourage them to support the Ohio Clean Air Program. Don't let out-of-state profiteers continue to steal Ohio's jobs and our children's future. Paid for by Generation Now, Inc.
Hi, this is Eric Clark. I'm proud to say that Fairway Ford in Canfield is the #1 Ford F-Series dealer in the region. That includes Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New York. We sell more because we have over 300 Ford trucks available. There are F-150s, F-250s, F-350s, F-350 dualies, F-450 dualies, F-550s, dumps, flatbeds, utilities, and stake beds. Fairway Ford has them all on sale. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that furthered your career and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors, all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? To find out more, text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645. Start your online MBA, Information Management, or Business Analytics Master's Program from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the W.P. Carey Business Graduate Programs online. Text OFFER to 79645. That's OFFER to 79645.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. Not going to waste any time. I'm going to go to Steve on the phones next, 330-729-9977. Steve, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hi, Joe. Thanks for the show. Appreciate it. I just happened to turn on the radio and just got the tail end of what you were talking about. And I run into that problem because I'm like a Tier 2 Zoom Internet customer, and I am getting nowhere near the download speed that they advertise. And I thought it had to do with the devices, like you only get what the slowest device in your house has, and you don't get any more than that. Is there any truth to that?
Well, not really. I mean, there's a pathway that the data takes to be able to get to you, and you've got to follow that pathway. And if it runs across a device that's not capable of producing that speed, then that's where your bottleneck, would be. So if, let's just say, you have a switch that a router that's fast and then a switch that's fast, but then it goes through a little 5G connection. Well, that's going to be your choke point there. So you got to be able to provide devices capable of achieving that speed all the way through from source to destination.
Okay. Now, I understand what you said. Everything you just covered in the last, I don't know how long you were on, but is this program archived, or is there a podcast for this show so I can go back and listen to it?
Sure can. If you go to 570wkbn.com, under podcast, You'll find Youngstown Computer Show, and then you can listen to today's program really shortly after the program airs.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're
for
welcome.
The show. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being out there. I appreciate you. Appreciate the phone call. A lot of these things, most of us, the brilliance of the show is that all of us hit these issues. So when we talk about them publicly, we all get to learn at the same time. We don't have to make the same set of mistakes. We get insights on things that we haven't even embarked on yet. All right, Tom, I see you out there. We'll take your call when we get back from this break. Phone number 330-729-9977. You can also text me at 330-333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
Find out more about how you can help to improve our air quality. Get today's air quality forecast and the extended forecast. Help preserve the air you breathe for you and your family. You need it to live, and you use it every day. MahoneyValleyAir.org. Information for your future.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks. There's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Here's what's happening. A Brookfield man wants answers after somebody shot his dog. The dog was found Thursday evening at a neighbor's house covered in blood. The owner, Robert McIntyre, says he let the dog outside shortly after he heard gunshots. The dog's being treated in Akron. The Trumbull County Coroner's Office identified the body that was found in the Mahoning River near Perkins Park earlier this week. 27 First News says investigators used dental records and identified the body as belonging to 17-year-old Brian Ayala of Warren. Valley Senator Michael Ruley's not sold on details of a new clean energy bill known as House Bill 6. Members of the Ohio General Assembly changed a measure dealing with clean energy and added language to help bail out owners of nuclear and coal-fired power plants. There's new charges against the man already registered as a sex offender for raping a child. Sean Unger has been indicted on rape and gross sexual imposition charges with sexually violent predator specifications. Prosecutors say Unger repeatedly assaulted a young girl between February of last year when he finished up a rape sentence and December when he was sent back to prison for violating terms. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2. Need an AC checkup? Call Mazda's Air Conditioning in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
An isolated shower or storm is possible this afternoon. A better chance this evening with a gusty, stronger storm possible later in the day. Saturday night, the risk continues before temperatures fall to the mid-60s for the start of your Sunday. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alexis Walters.
Hey people, are you paying attention? Are you looking for a truck to use like a truck? Then why would you spend big money on a new one and beat the out of it? This is Joe Fire from Fireball Motors. Be smarter and spend less money on a better truck. We specialize in non-rusty West Coast trucks from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that are under 10 grand. We are located on Route 422, just an eighth mile from the PA border, or online at fireballtrucks.com. And remember, Fireball means four-wheel drive.
So how is the retirement bucket list going? Copeland Oaks can help you find time to start checking off those exciting things on your bucket list. This is Dan Rivers. Choose a lovely, spacious ranch home or apartment and leave the mowing and the painting and the fixing up to Copeland Oaks. The campus offers golf, fishing, hiking, swimming, an active, fun-filled lifestyle. Copeland Oaks Retirement Community, located in nearby Sebring, just off 62. Find them on the web at copelandoaks.com or visit the campus to see for yourself. Copeland Oaks Retirement Community, beyond expectations and within reach.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee, and you're even getting up at night to go. This is not okay. Listen. The makers of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 prostate formula, are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. To celebrate, we're sending free bottles to men who want to cut down on bathroom trips. Yes, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Call 1-800-252-8940. P3 Advanced has clinically tested non-prescription ingredients to support your prostate. Combine that with a reduction in urges to pee, and you have a formula you'd be crazy not to try. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-252-8940. 1-800-252-8940. 1-800-252-8940.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is your Saturday show where we get to talk about things that are happening in tech. I do my best to spread out our topics and be it talking about software, hardware, things in science, things in culture and current events. You'll get it all here. And it all depends on the interesting what we delve into is kind of fluid, and it every once in a while we'll go I'm telling you, computer help, talking about how to fix these things, it's completely dry to those who aren't interested, right? So if you you can't always do something like that because it's just so hard to listen to. Where it's useful and we learn a whole lot, you can only get and take so much of that. We spread that on out over different shows. One will go heavy into the hardware, one will go heavy in the software, one will talk about space travel and time travel, one will talk about new consumer electronics and everything across the spectrum. So I appreciate all of you being out there, and no matter what your what your reason for being here, I appreciate you seeing us through the times that don't really interest you to get to the times that do interest you. You are all valued out there, and I talk to you guys all the time in real life, and there are people that have started with this show before they knew anything about it. And because of you callers, the people who call in with your questions and comments, that you've helped so many people out there that are in the same boat as you. I mean, there's some people that are maybe too shy to call or too shy to text. They're hoping that some of you will call and ask the question because they're too timid, or they might be embarrassed, or they just feel vulnerable that they don't know something that they think they should know. But that's what we do. We unearth things that we don't know. We share our experiences with everybody that's out there in the listening audience, and we have a depth of audience that if I don't know it, somebody listening does. The genius in this audience is beyond what you could even imagine. I have people text me that after show and whatnot, and correct me if I make a mistake, or give me insight to something that's out of my wheelhouse that they have. So I always appreciate it. And that's, like I said, that's why I love doing the show. Not only just for, the listeners are great, the callers are great, and then the people who contribute are great. So appreciate all of you. All right, let's go to Tom next. Tom, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Sure.
I ran into a problem with, I use Windows Gold because of my visual disability, but all of a sudden I noticed after I would get through using another window like iTunes or something, the Windows Gold wouldn't work. The icon would come up and it would go out in a second. And the only way I can get it back on and get back on the internet was to do a restart. I called the Microsoft Help Desk because they will help people free that have visual disability or any kind of disability. So what they did is one of those guys overseas, they went through my whole thing. They took over my computer and they deleted a lot of third-party applications, I guess. And they deleted my Bluetooth and my SoundMax. Well, they got Internet Explorer working, and I also, and I use that once in a while, and also the other Google Chrome. And then, so when I found out I didn't have Bluetooth and SoundMax, I called them back, and we did a restore, a 24-hour restore, and that got my Bluetooth and SoundMax back. But I lost Internet Explorer again, and the AOL Gold worked a few times, and then did the same thing. Now I don't get anything. I don't. I can't. Nothing comes up when I click on those things. I don't know where to go from here. I was going to call AOL and have them reinstall AOL Gold, and then some. I don't know what to do about Internet Explorer and Chrome. I'm getting error messages on Internet Explorer.
Okay. So when they did get rid of third parties and trim down the software, and you lost Bluetooth, did everything besides Bluetooth work?
Yeah, like iTunes still worked, and I don't use a whole lot of programs. I mean, I was able to get on the internet, if I restarted, with AOL, I'd have to do a restart on the computer.
Yeah.
But then once I signed off, and the only way I could stay on the internet is by minimizing AOL and just leaving it on. And they told me there's no problem with doing that. Now, the only security system I have is Windows, the Windows security system, which still works. And they ran a full scan for me, and I come up with no issues, and the message was your computer's running properly. And that's what I can't understand. Do I have to reload now Windows Gold and Internet Explorer? And
well, there's going to be some conflicting software. It sounds like that there's a certain, when you align the stars, you can get it all to work besides Bluetooth. And so that if you can get yourself back in that position again, if they figure out what's causing the conflict, then you can get Bluetooth radios are fairly cheap. So instead of using the one that's built on the board, you might want to just get a USB Bluetooth, plug that in, and see if you can get, your Bluetooth working in a different way.
That's what I have. I have the USB Bluetooth. I couldn't get it reinstalled myself. I took the the applicator out and put it back in the USB, and I tried to do it like I first did it. One of those, they're called Robot or Abot Bluetooth systems, where you just plug it in, and but I couldn't even get it to come up in the boxes that the sound boxes. It wasn't even listed, and I couldn't even get SoundMax. I have an HP all-in-one. I couldn't even get SoundMax. Well, they got me that stuff back. But now this AOL Gold's really got me puzzled because it would click on, and for a second the ball would come up, the logo, and then it would go out.
Yeah, I would get on the line with
restarted the computer.
I would get on the line with AOL, tell them that you're having a whole bunch of software conflicts, and see if their techs can go through and get rid of or at least identify what's causing the set of conflicts. They're going to know their software better than anybody else. So I'd definitely put the ball in their court.
All right, now Internet Explorer and Google Chrome. Now, did you have to sign on to those now? See, I haven't used that for a long time. Do you have to have a password and everything to get on those?
No, when you're on the internet, they just use whatever internet connection you're using. And in this case, it's your internet's passing through to the AOL program. So if the AOL program's getting your whole computer on the web, then your Internet Explorer and Chrome will just work passively.
All right. Now, do I need another security system beside the Windows security system? I forget what it's called now. But
Security Essentials, yeah, you really should. I mean, I recommend, especially on like Windows 7, that you get something a little bit better than what comes on there. Malware is what we see more than anything, so you want to get something that's managing your malware exposure.
Yeah, AOL's got this one called Fortress, and I don't know if they got that. Then I saw something when I did get Internet Explorer, and I put AOL Gold in there to see if I could reinstall it or something. There was a couple of items on there that said AOL Gold is a Trojan horse. I don't know.
I would not be surprised. All right, Tom, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it. I'm telling you that here's really what the nuts and bolts of it are. Okay, so everybody sort of that saw this progress. AOL was the go-to internet service provider. They were number one. They had the most subscribers. They were really they were in really a good spot. And then the competition made their way on the scene, which essentially kind of put them out of business. They purchased Time Warner. That whole thing was a debacle. Now, the AOL software doesn't have cost associated with it anymore, so that it really doesn't have a budget along with it. So it's one of those applications that have these really rough periods where I know they're not putting much development into it because it's not a revenue-generating product. So that these weird issues that, when they were raking in the money, they would make sure that their software worked really well. There's a lot of people that still use and pay for AOL to this day. And some of them even do it in spite of having a connection through Armstrong or Spectrum. And so, I will tell you that AOL is now free, and there are a lot of people that still use it. And when you have a problem, it is the most expensive free program that you'll ever encounter. I mean, I've had customers that have to, 3 and 4 phone calls to get really simple things resolved. And, and it's because the whole market has moved on from, environmental internet providers. And that's what it is, where AOL doesn't give you just access to the internet. They give you access to their environment. So everything you want to do passes through the AOL environment to be able to get to the web. And, you've got familiarity. You've got an interface that's clean and easy to understand. So there's, it makes it really a good target for older people because it's not as complicated as just internet connections on, and then you got to figure everything else for yourself. You got to figure out what websites you're going to and so on and so forth. So thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it. And again, if any of you have the ability to get away from AOL, and I know you said you use AOL for the accessibility options because of sight or hearing or whatever impairments you might have, there might be other options other than AOL, especially if it's one of those things where you feel like you're messing around too much and it would be a shame if you had to tweak your whole computer around one program that is problematic for a decade now. So it'd be better if you put that same effort in trying to find what you use AOL for, trying to find accessibility options that don't require you to be tethered to an AOL environment. So that's going to be my best deal. If you come up empties on getting AOL to get that sorted out, that software conflict, see if you can do the bypass and get rid of them. You can still retain that AOL email address even if you don't use their environment. So you can still use the web interface and configure it with Gmail and stuff like that. So thanks again for the phone call. Appreciate it. All right, so Thursday, and I think this was Thursday, we had SpaceX. They threw a Falcon Heavy rocket into low Earth orbit. And I'm going to talk about this for a second because this is the kind of stuff that I think is super interesting, and it's sort of flying a little bit below the radar. And basically SpaceX, company that is owned by Elon Musk, also the owner of Tesla, and what they're doing is the idea for so roll back. Last year, they were testing the Falcon Heavy. Okay, Falcon Heavy is a payload rocket where it exceeds all of the other rockets that are on the market right now for carrying payload into space. And so they were testing this thing. The two sides of it were, number one, the rocket boosters that get the payload up in the atmosphere are reusable. And so early on, Elon said half of the cost is because so much equipment gets dropped into the sea and is never usable again. Well, he created these rocket boosters that go up, and then as they're falling down to Earth, they orient themselves vertically and land themselves on a landing pad. And if you've not seen one of these, this is one of the most amazing things to see this, this artificial intelligence, these computer systems land these spent rockets on a launching pad, like perfectly choreographed. Two of them landed after this thing, and it was just amazing to be able to watch. But anyway, so he was able to get the reusable components and having multiple rockets to be able to lift heavier payloads in there. So the government started using them, other satellite companies started using them, Boeing started using them, foreign governments started using them, International Space Station started using them to get stuff out into space. Well, fast forward now, and Elon has this idea that we need or can do a bunch of these little mini satellites that we can put into low Earth orbit, and he can get them covering the entire globe and provide internet to people that are on the ground. So if you live in a remote area that there's no way that you're going to get coaxial cable or fiber optic cable or Wi-Fi, ground terrestrial Wi-Fi to you, then these little satellites that are broadcasting internet, that could be an option. Now you got to understand that I'm kind of seeing this from the Tesla version of this as well as the consumer version of this. And if you're a fan of this group, you gotta kind of see what's happening here. So the Tesla cars, they're really dependent on being able to pull data down and push data up. Each one of the cars has an LTE connection, meaning that they are using some kind of broadband, some kind of provider to be able to buy data links from. Every car that they've got on the marketplace needs to be able to push and pull data up and down. So they've got to go with a traditional cellular phone company in order to get their data to their cars. Now, it makes sense that if Tesla had their own internet system, right, that could cover their cars no matter where they're at, they would not have to pay another company to be able to field out, that bandwidth, that data coverage. So it makes sense that if SpaceX can put these satellites, they put 60 in space on Thursday, okay? And that's the first batch. I think they said that they were going to do it every couple months, and their goal is to have like 14,000 of these satellites in Earth's orbit. And so much coverage over the globe that no matter where you're at, one of these SpaceX Starlight satellites will have internet coverage all over the globe. So I'm very interested to see where that, if that comes to fruition, if it starts being used on the residential side, the commercial side, or just company-wide with the Tesla cars or the Internet of Things. It could be any of those. Once you have infrastructure that's hanging in low Earth orbit, it kind of gets me to think, though, if you spread 14,000 satellites, like I don't even know what that looks like. I don't know how much real estate that's going to take up in our atmosphere when you've got 14 things. I don't know if it's super crowded up there with the satellites that we already have, or if it's like you're looking at when you look at the FAA's map of where the airplanes are, you're thinking, oh my goodness, how these airplanes are everywhere on this map. But when you're actually in the air, there's like miles between each one of the planes. It's nowhere near being as crowded as it looks like when it's clustered down on the map. But when I saw 14,000 on the actual map, it looks like Morse code, but in every direction, total coverage around there. So I don't know what that means when you start doing commercial space travel, when you're pushing people up there to do tourist cruise in the upper atmosphere or to the moon or whatever, what spreading 14,000 satellites all over Earth's orbit even looks like. And when we were doing the launch, they have a camera fixed on the payload, and you can see things in space kind of like flying around. And we've all kind of seen the movies, and the astronauts are fearful of this super fast debris that's flying around in the atmosphere, being able to puncture the outside of the spacecraft and the suits that they wear and whatnot. So I didn't know how much of that stuff I was seeing was stuff that would be in danger, or if these little satellites that are flying around at 23,000 kilometers per minute, what dangers those pose, and all of it, what keeps them in the atmosphere, what keeps them from re-entering the atmosphere. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here and considerations, but very exciting stuff to be able to kind of keep your eye on and see what comes to be. So in the next hour, we have two guests. We have a guest from Golden Strings Radio. We have Dino coming in, and we have Greg from Youngstown Comic-Con that are going to be joining us, talking about the event coming up in July. So if you stay tuned, we'll be back. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
Don't miss the Farm Report from the Agricultural Network, weekday mornings at 6:20. Brought to you by Land Pro Equipment. Stay current with the latest farming innovations. Weekday mornings at 6:20, the Land Pro Equipment Farm Report on News Radio 570 WKBN.
Nobody beats our prices at Menards. Get professional results on your next painting job with pro-quality Purdy brushes and rollers. They're all on sale. Choose from a 2-inch angled sash brush, a 3-pack of roller covers, or a 4.5-inch jumbo mini paint kit with tray, roller frame, and 2 mini roller covers. Only $8.88 each. Good through June 2nd. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Father's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Hospitals and major healthcare providers want you to believe one thing. They want you to believe you do not have a choice when it comes to medical imaging. Hospitals can hit you with thousands of dollars in medical bills. Don't listen. Go where so many have gone and have saved thousands of dollars on their medical imaging. DMXI. You don't have to pay those ridiculous hospital fees. DMXI is here to help you. It's your decision where you have your imaging taken. Trust DMXI. Go to DMXI.com or stop in at their local location just off Todd Avenue in Boardman.
Doors are being slammed in your face, and bad credit is holding you back from buying a house, car, even getting a credit card. $99 can put your credit back to a 720 or higher. That's right, just $99. Bankruptcy, tax liens, judgments, and even late pays can be removed from credit reports by calling the Giving Days Foundation. A nonprofit organization is here to help. Federal law allows you to challenge each and every item on your credit report. We'll recalculate your personal credit score for only $99 and repair your personal credit for free. Just be one of the first 10 callers. Take our personal credit challenge. Get your credit score to a 720. 800-543-5772. Call now to recalculate your personal credit score for only $99 and repair your personal credit for free. Call now. 800-543-5772. Don't miss this great free credit repair. Just be one of the first 10 callers. 800-543-5772.
The Scrappers kick off the 2019 season on Sunday, June 16th. Tickets are on sale now, including the opening day package with 4 tickets, a $20 gift card to Quaker Steak and Lube, and $10 in gift cards from Hothead Burritos for only $44. For more info, call the Scrappers at 330-505-0000 or visit mvscrappers.com. That's mvscrappers.com. The Scrappers 2019 season is presented by the Eastwood Mall Complex. Scrappers Baseball, baseball with bite.
Just announced 0% financing for 72 months on new 2019 Ford F-150s at Fairway Ford in Canfield. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
This is retired Lieutenant Colonel Jim Reese. I own and operate a disabled veteran business that is dedicated to protecting you and your loved ones here in the United States and abroad. During my years in the Delta Force, it was my passion to keep people safe. As a civilian, my passion continues. My team and I at Tiger Swan built the most robust personal protection smartphone app available, called Guardian Angel. Tiger Swan's Guardian Angel is the only personal security device that immediately connects you to first responders 24 hours a day. God forbid you or a loved one were to find themselves in a dangerous situation in the U.S. or abroad. Simply press the SOS button inside of the Guardian Angel app on your smartphone, and in real time, the Guardian Angel dispatcher will locate you. The application's two-way video capability allows us to see your surroundings, and the geolocation capability allows us to send first responders to your exact location to physically rescue you if necessary. Visit the App Store today and download Tiger Swan Guardian Angel.
The tax deadline has passed and the IRS did not show up at your home or office. You're safe, right? No. Now comes enforced compliance season. This is when the IRS actively garnishes paychecks, seizes bank accounts, and puts liens on homes. In a moment, I'll share the Optima Tax Relief Hotline. It's set up for members of this audience because it's critically important to solve your tax problems while you have options. Tomorrow you might not. Optima works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions. Call and ask about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, even tens of thousands. Optima is A+ rated. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for people just like you. Get a fresh start. Call for your free consultation, 800-973-7700. That's 800-973-7700 for Optima Tax Relief.
The iHeartRadio app has become #1 for podcasts with a catalog that has exploded to over 250,000 of the best podcasts from around the globe. iHeartRadio now lets you follow your favorite podcasts to get real-time updates when new episodes drop. Plus, you can set your podcast to auto-download episodes, so you always have the latest on your phone waiting for you to listen, even if you don't have a connection. And it's all yours for free. Get the entire universe of audio with one touch. Your music, your stations, and now #1 for podcasts.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is your Saturday show where we talk about things that are happening in the tech world. We have a couple guests coming up, but first, I get this question about 100 times a week. This 5G that's coming out, everybody's terrified of what this technology means from a lot of different perspectives. Most concerning would be the health perspective. My wife asked me yesterday, all of these Wi-Fi devices that we're cramming into every corner of our house, what effect is this going to have on us long term from a health standpoint? And I really don't have an answer. So the best I can do is sort of be a cynic and keep my eye on it and then relay anything that I learn about it to you. And right now I have so few answers, it's not even funny. So let me tell you about a quick what I know about it. Okay, so most of the production, the hardware that's being produced for 5G is coming from overseas, from China. So we do have to make sure the equipment doesn't have planted software in it that exposes us to any kind of risk from a security standpoint. And these things, the bandwidth that they're going to be shooting out is a lot more hardcore and more powerful than stuff before. So we have to have some more science and research done to see how it's affecting our brains. What I told my wife is that what's probably happening with this chemical electrical antenna that's walking around, we're probably being overstimulated by this stuff we're sending through the air more than anything else. So more to come, but I'll keep everybody involved and the conversation going as we learn more about what this 5G means to everybody. All right, when we come back, we'll have a couple of sit-down in-studio guests. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
Ducut Toro and you, the best team for a great lawn. Toro is one of America's top lawnmower brands. What a great teammate to have. Ducut has dependable Toro walk-behind mowers starting at only $269. Backed by Ducut's expert parts and service. Why shop anywhere else? Visit Ducut today to see the full Toro lineup. Proudly serving the Mahoning Valley for 72 years. Ducut Warren and Canfield.
Let yourself go.
The Lakes at Jefferson, Shenango Valley's only resort-style senior living community, currently has open independent living apartments and personal care studios. This brand new facility is on Route 62, halfway between Mercer and Hermitage. It offers luxury amenities at an affordable rate, with no additional cost for levels of care. Call 724-704-0039 or visit thenugentgroup.com today to schedule a tour. Follow us on Facebook for information on our upcoming events.
On AM and thousands of devices, including Amazon Echo, Google Home, and Sonos. With our iHeartRadio app, 570 WKBN, Youngstown. It's 2 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. A setback for President Trump's plan to build a southern border wall. A federal judge today ruling that his administration must have congressional approval before using national security funding to build it.
The California judge has blocked the Trump administration from using the $1 billion the president secured when he declared a national emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border. This overnight decision stops the administration's efforts to use military funds to build sections of President Trump's wall along the border, essentially saying Trump cannot divert those funds.
ABC's Stephanie Ramos. Construction was scheduled to begin today. Another federal judge blocking a Mississippi law that banned abortions as soon as a fetal heartbeat is detected.
The federal judge stopping the Mississippi 6-week abortion law, saying it threatens immediate harm to women's rights, considering most women don't seek abortion services or even know they're pregnant before then. Earlier this week, Judge Carlton Reeves expressed his anger with Mississippi lawmakers. The judge had rejected an earlier law that banned abortion at 15 weeks. That court order may be appealed all the way to the Supreme Court.
ABC's Andy Field. President Trump in Japan today for trade talks. At an arrival address, the president says he's very optimistic about the future of U.S.-Japan trading.
The relationship with Japan and the United States, I can say for a fact, has never been stronger. It's never been more powerful, never been closer. This is a very exciting time for commerce between the two countries that we both love.
At West Point,
the class of 2019 is the most diverse class in the history of the United States Military Academy.
Vice President Mike Pence today delivering the commencement address. The U.S. Military Academy graduating its 5,000th woman, 1,000th Jewish cadet, and the most African-American women in a single class ever in the history of the Academy. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's what's happening. A Brookfield man wants answers after somebody shot his dog. The dog was found Thursday evening at a neighbor's house covered in blood. Robert McIntyre says he let the dog outside shortly after he heard gunshots and a dog scream. Police are investigating. They say they don't have any suspects at this time. McIntyre says the dog was shot twice and is being cared for in Akron. The Trumbull County Coroner's Office has identified the body that was found in the Mahoning River near Perkins Park earlier this week. 27 First News says investigators used dental records to identify the body as belonging to 17-year-old Brian Ayala of Warren. A ruling on the cause of death has not yet been determined. Valley Senator Michael Ruley's not sold on details of a new clean energy bill known as House Bill 6. Members of the Ohio General Assembly made changes to a measure dealing with clean energy and added language to help bail out owners of nuclear and coal-fired power plants that would be paid by consumers. Ruley says for them to come up with a new tax to save the nuclear plants is a hard pill to swallow. The bill has not been scheduled for a vote by the full House yet. New charges against a man already registered as a sex offender for raping a child. Sean Unger has been indicted on a rape and gross sexual imposition charge with sexually violent predator specifications. Prosecutors say Unger repeatedly assaulted a young girl between February of last year, when he finished an earlier rape sentence, and December, when he was sent back to prison for violating terms of his release. And with more drivers expected to be on the roads this Memorial Day weekend, Highway Patrol troopers will be out enforcing traffic violations. Troopers are enforcing seatbelt violations as part of the Click It or Ticket campaign that began May 13th. According to the Highway Patrol, 18 people were killed during the Memorial Day weekend in Ohio last year, and the patrol also made just under 800 OVI arrests during last Memorial Day weekend. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charley's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charley's. For your home or business, call Mazza's Heating and AC in Girard, 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
An isolated shower or storm is possible this afternoon. A better chance this evening with a gusty, stronger storm possible later in the day. Saturday night, the risk continues before temperatures fall to the mid-60s for the start of your Sunday. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alexis Walters.
Hey, it's Ron for Nature Stone. Stop waiting and start moving. Let your family enjoy your basement. I know it's some damn dirty place that you don't want to spend time. We can make it look spectacular and put down Nature Stone. It's the only solution that will stand up to moisture, dampness, and even flooding. It's the right flooring for your basement. Get it installed in your home by the end of May and get up to half off. Schedule a free in-home estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. Naturestone.com. Remember Russell's promise or true unconditional warranty. Like my friend Mike says, it's not just a floor. Wow. It's Nature Stone.
Burnett Pool's financing event is happening right now. Take advantage of 0% APR for 60 months on all new hot tubs and above-ground swimming pools. Now's the time to own a hot spring spa, the world's #1 selling hot tub brand, or the perfect time to choose your new swimming pool. Visit Burnett Pool's locations in Cortland, Canfield, and Newcastle, or online at burnettpools.com. With low monthly payments on approved credit, it's easy to step into a new hot tub or above-ground pool.
Burnett Pools, we've got it all.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Take the short drive to Geneva-on-the-Lake and enjoy Old Firehouse Winery.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I'm Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer. In the studio, we have a couple guests here. We have Greg Bartholomew. Thank you for stopping in. Greg is a local entrepreneur, also is the host and promoter of the Youngstown Comic-Con. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then we have Golden Strings Royalty. We have Dino. Dino, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you, my friend?
Very good. So we're going to entertain you here for the next half hour or so. Check in with both of you and see what's new on the radar. So first off here, tell us a little bit about Comic-Con that's coming up in July.
July 6th and 7th down at the Cavelli Center. Youngstown Comic-Con will be our 10th anniversary show. It'll be our third year at the Cavelli Center. And this year we are bringing in Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob, 3 of the 4 comic book men from the TV show that followed The Walking Dead. They've been canceled, but they've got a huge following. And then we've got some special comic book artists too coming. Graham Nolan, who wrote Bane, who originated Bane. We've got Arthur Sidam, who was the big Walking Dead zombies artist. And then Jim Steranko, who's one of the most famous Silver Age artists of all time. So a couple other local artists and about 150 tables worth of stuff. But if you've been there in the past, this will be bigger and better, hopefully, than we've had it. It's just every year keeps growing.
And it's huge. And my favorite is when I drive by there. I drive by there a couple times when you're doing it, and there's always cosplay people walking in. To watch people dressed up as their favorite characters is my favorite part of the whole event.
Yeah, it's that wasn't really like a faction of a comic book show 10, 15 years ago, but in the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's really taking over. The industry is, its own, part of the Comic-Con is the cosplay competition and just coming in costume and having fun. We have the adult contests on Saturday, and the children's contest is on Sunday, and we always get a huge turnout for it. It doesn't cost anything to enter the tournament. And we give prizes to everybody. And this year's winner of the adult costume contest will be put on the billboards for next year.
Oh, that's cool. Dino, have you gone to the Comic-Con?
I love Youngstown Comic-Cons, especially going to Philadelphia and Altoona and Oaks.
What's your favorite part of the Youngstown?
I like to get the toys. I like to get the Pokemon stuff, the Sonic the Hedgehog, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, everything.
All right, so
mostly 90s nostalgia
He's
stuff.
a 90s child.
Nice, yeah. Now, is it what you're on these tables? Is it merchandising? Is it
Yes.
autograph sessions? What's the bulk of it?
We've got about 150 tables of vendors there. People that sell comic books, people that sell Funko Pops and toys. We have people who sell their own sketches. They'll do commissions there too that sell their own prints. We have people that do jewelry.
We have people that do combinations of that kind of stuff. I mean, we have vintage toy dealers there too. So it's like I won't say garage sale, but it's like a big flea market underneath, the Cavelli roof there. And there's people selling things for $1, or there's comic books in the building that sold last year for $20,000.
Dang. Big market in that stuff.
Yeah, we estimated that there was probably at least $500,000 spent under that roof the last 2 days, in those 2 days.
Very impressive.
It's big.
Yeah.
We both years we've been there, we've run the ATM out of money on Saturday to where they've had to come in on Sunday and refill the machine. So I'm not sure how much is in an ATM, but you figure it's at least $20,000 or $30,000. So there's a lot of commerce that happens there. It's not like some of these trade shows where you walk around and everybody just kind of looks and feels stuff. But I mean, here there's big business going on.
Heck yeah. And now, how many years have you done this?
This will be number 10.
10 years. And now it's a 2-day show.
2-day show. Third year at Cavelli, also the third year we've been a 2-day show.
Is there different things happening on different days, or is it the same show both days?
It's vendor-wise, it's the same show. Okay. But like we have programming for panels and trivia contests, and obviously the cosplay contests. So we put out a program booklet, and we'll post it online closer to the show because we're still putting together that schedule. But like you can come in and go to a cosplay 101 program where you can learn how to make your own cosplay costume. Then we have a Star Wars trivia contest. We have general trivia contest. Some of the guests will come in and do like a 45-minute panel. So we might have the comic book men come up and talk about being on the TV show, things like that. So
how'd you get into this?
I've been collecting comic books since I was 7 or 8 years old. I got really serious when I was like 11, if that makes any sense. My brother and I started doing conventions, setting up and selling stuff for, like beer money when I was in college. I don't collect anymore. Let's just sell this stuff. And I kind of got the itch to do that. And then in 1989 and 1990, when the first Batman movie came out, I ran 3 shows locally at the Metroplex. And then waited a couple years. I opened up my store in Warren in 93, and then we opened up in Boardman in 97. And then there weren't any shows locally for since 2002. So I'm like, I guess the local comic book guy might as well run the Comic-Con. And our first year we had 400 people. I ran it on a $500 budget, and then last year we had 5,200 people.
Dang! See, that's what I
and the
love.
budget was a little bit bigger, and by a little bit I mean a lot.
So, and that's what I love about local entrepreneurs here is that when you see a sort of a soft spot in the market, that you said, hey, Cleveland has one,
Right.
Pittsburgh has one, why doesn't Youngstown? Let's bring
Columbus.
something that we can be proud of here. And, that's my favorite thing of Youngstown is people show up when they're asked and they support these venues.
They do, and they're very loyal as long as you show respect back. And it's the same for restaurants, bars, any type of retail. You know who the industry leaders are in this area, and you can look at similar traits on why it works that way. And like I said, I've been around 26 years. I'm 52. I've been doing this half my life. I gave up teaching math to do this full time.
Oh, really? We're a
Yeah.
teacher. That's cool.
Yeah, sure it was. And it was fine. But I can relate to the kids on a little more intimate level, if need be.
What school district were you at?
I actually subbed for 4.5 years, and then I taught at GM for 3 years.
Okay.
They had brought back the skilled trades program in 1994. It had been dormant for 12 years. So this was the last time they went through the problems with, we're not sure we're going to get a car. We're not sure what's going to happen with the plant. And then I forget what came in, but it's like, all right, we need engineers again. So I was teaching, pre-calc and trigonometry and stuff like that out there for 3 years. And then I opened up a third store because I had a store in Austintown for a while too. And then at the time, I'm like, I'm not teaching anymore. I'm going to give this business thing a try.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done. So, Dino, let me bring you back in. You do comic books at all?
Yes,
What's your favorite?
I mostly like Sonic the Hedgehog 90s relation. Pinky and the Brain Animaniacs. I sometimes collect My Little Pony. I also collect vintage toys. Lots of 90s stuff that I grew up with.
Any of that stuff I get in, I hold for him.
Really? He's a good customer?
Oh, yeah.
So what's your most valuable thing that you have?
Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain.
What would you say it would be worth?
Like for them to me to have them sell for me.
Yeah, if I know you would not sell them, but if you were, what do you think they'd be worth?
I would take about like maybe 50 to 60, something like that.
All right. Now, do you have them in protective cases and displays?
Yeah,
and that
in my office.
Okay.
In the basement.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, and so you've been doing Golden Strings Radio for quite a while, right?
Yes, on my birthday, February 21st, 2011, for like 8 years now, or 9 years actually.
What's your favorite part of being a host on that program?
Well, I've always wanted to be a DJ on, like, coming to here at Clear Channel, but they wouldn't allow me. So, but when Jimmy Sutman, the founder and owner of Purple Cat and Golden String Radio, got Joe Gallagher, he was the first client of Golden String and Purple Cat, so he decided to make a radio station, and for Jimmy Sutman and all the clients to enjoy. So I decided to become a DJ and go on my birthday of February 21st, 2011, and I became a DJ, and I've been doing it for 9 years.
Oh, that is so cool. Now, if our listeners wanted to check you out, like what days and times are you on?
I'm on every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. and Thursdays 6 to 8 p.m. on www.goldenstringradio.org on the internet, the first internet live radio station run by adults with disabilities and special needs.
All right, and he's a prolific Facebook Live broadcaster as well. So every one of his programs, if you follow him on Facebook, you can also watch his program over there.
Yes, I broadcast all my shows on my Facebook Live on my Facebook account.
And he'll even talk to the people who are texting in while he's on the program.
Yeah,
too.
I get listeners from New England. I get a listener from British Columbia, Australia, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and all over the world.
All right. Well, both of these guys are on Facebook, and they both I follow them to see what they're up to. I'm a little bit of a fan of both of you.
And they enjoy my show because they enjoy my show, and when I play music and take requests for them. And
I send in requests.
Do you really?
I play your request.
Daniel's like, hey, Dad, Greg wants to listen to this. Get that in the queue. And I'm like, all right, that's cool.
See, that's awesome. See, you guys are good customers of one another,
Yeah.
right? It's a cooperative thing.
And I'm looking forward to getting a job as a PR relations and public relations man because that's my dream job to do.
Is it really? Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So back to you, Greg. With your business incorporating, technology and the stuff that you do on the web, how has promoting the Youngstown Comic-Con and that on Facebook and whatnot?
Joe, I've had my stores for 26, at least one store for 26 years, been running the show for 10 years. And retail advertising is a totally different animal than event planning and advertising. So I do a lot of different things with Facebook and that for my show that I don't do for the store and vice versa. It's this year for the show, we started something called geofencing, which I'm not sure how old that is. It's got to be fairly new, but the metrics that go into that about being able to take an address and fence it and then be able to send ads to people over their phones. And, people are like, I was just talking about this. The next thing, there's an ad for it on my phone. And that's like, I know where that's come from now. So we've geofenced 12 other stores and 6 other local conventions all within a couple hours, to promote the show. And my budget for the show advertising for a 2-day show is more than my year-long budget for my shop because we incorporate the name of the shop in with some of the advertising for the show. It's like Youngstown Comic-Con brought to you by All American Cards and Comics in Boardman and Warren. Ta-da! Okay.
All right, so we have this program. We have a lot of other entrepreneurs that listen to this. So, do you want to share any of your secret sauce to the marketing strategy that you run?
Promote. Find a medium that works for you, and use it. You could either talk to people who are in the same type of field you are. I always give free advice too. It makes the first thing I did was invest in my company. It took me 16 years to go, you know what? I'm going to start advertising. You know what's helped me the most was radio. And then I incorporated some of the bigger, cable TV, regular TV. We do billboards, obviously social media, direct mail, direct direct marketing and things like that, guerrilla marketing as they used to call it. But when I opened up, all there was newspapers and, your mass media. Well, if you got a small budget, some of that stuff's really expensive, especially when you open up and you're like, I've got $100. What am I going to do? I'm going to take out a little quarter-page ad in the paper. Is that going to work? Am I going to take, can't get on television for that. And, radio ads aren't cheap either, but, you can make it work.
And
But
social media
is
so
really
cheap.
It is so cheap.
It is really
and
the
it is
best.
effective, but
if done right.
You still got to know what you're doing. You can't just throw money into the wind and hope to God that it works. But I do a lot of trial and error, and being a former math teacher, I'm very good with numbers, I think, and I always look at the analytics and things like that because that's what interests me as a kid. So I've kind of taken that and helped my, background with my business. But if you don't advertise, you're not going to go anywhere, to be honest with you. And like a couple of my friends, like my friend Kenny that runs River Rock, I talk to him because he runs, music concerts. But it's the same thing. He's never seen a successful event where people didn't spend money for people to get there.
Yep, for sure.
And you have to have faith in yourself and what you are providing to be able to put that kind of money into running something along those lines. I'm not saying go out and run a Comic-Con or series at music series at an amphitheater or go rent, the Cavelli and hold a concert. But whatever you do, if you want people to show up, you have to spend
the
money.
Absolutely. Now, do you the week leading up to the event, do you hold your breath and start having nightmares about you being the only one in the venue? Ever?
I usually have at least one. You mean like I'm the only one that showed up? Well, if my volunteers don't show up, I'm the only ones there, then I am in really big trouble. But we usually set up the 2 days before the show, then load-ins the day before the show, and then you hope to God your people make their airplanes and travel accommodations and make the show, the guests. After that, it's a piece of cake.
All right. We're going to take a break, come back, talk a little bit more with both Greg and Dino. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
There are more than 34 million American smokers. Now, I bet that finding a satisfying alternative to cigarettes is at the top of your list if you're a smoker. Look, I've been there before. But after many years of smoking, I finally made the switch to Juul. There's no more worrying about the way my clothes smell, worrying about what people are going to say. With Juul, everything is so much easier. Now, Juul is a vaporizer that contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. When I found Juul, it was a complete game changer. Now, Juul was designed by smokers for smokers to be an alternative to cigarettes. From its simple-to-use interface to its clean technology, well, Juul has no cigarette ash, odor, or mess. So if you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that there is an alternative to cigarettes. Now, to discover the smoking alternative that's nothing like you've tried, visit JUUL.com/SwitchAmerica. That's JUUL.com/SwitchAmerica. And warning, this product does contain nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload. But what if there were a business degree that furthered your career and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors, all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? To find out more, text TEST to 79645. That's TEST to 79645. Start your online MBA, Information Management, or Business Analytics Master's Program from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the W.P. Carey Business Graduate Programs online. Text TEST to 79645. That's TEST to 79645.
Nobody beats our prices at Menards, so you can save big money on giving your home a fresh new look. For an exterior paint and primer with extreme adhesion technology, choose Dutch Boy Max Bond. Its no prep, no prime formula delivers superior adhesion to chalky, dirty, previously painted, or glossy surfaces with unconditional satisfaction. Right now, save $10 a gallon after rebate. Good through June 2nd. Plus, a Menards gift card is perfect for Father's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Has your doctor recently ordered a CAT scan, MRI, or any x-rays for you? Remember, it's your choice where you have your imaging done. And that's why Dr. Adam Crouch and the DMXI team is here for you. DMXI patients save anywhere from 75 to 95% off of their medical imaging. And DMXI is now offering a 64-slice CT scanner for the head, neck, chest, and abdominal regions for the most accurate images. If you need medical imaging, go to DMXI.com and see the DMXI difference. DMXI, just off Todd Avenue in Boardman.
The tire experts at Flynn's Tire and Auto Service make it easy to choose your next set of tires. Whether you're looking for great traction, a quiet ride, or just the lowest price, our experts will match you with the perfect tire to fit your needs, guaranteed. From now through June 30th, you can get up to $200 back when you buy a set of 4 select Goodyear tires on the Goodyear credit card. Visit our website at flynnstire.com or stop by any Flynn's Tire location today.
And tell them Vinny sent you.
Offer subject to credit approval. See store for details.
Hi, folks. Steve Bott from Mark Thomas Ford. This month, we are honoring those who serve with some extra special rebates. Tell them what's going on, Davey.
All military veterans and first responders get up to an additional $750 off, plus 0% financing is available and no payments for 90 days.
And don't forget, we have guaranteed credit approval, the Mark Thomas Promise. Combine those all together, David, and we have some of the best deals of the year. Stop out and see us at Mark Thomas Ford. We're 2 miles north through 82 Bypass on Elm Road in Cortland, Ohio, or check us out on the web at markthomasford.com.
The kids across the hall could hear him snoring.
Listen to Steve and Carrie's story about Z Quiet.
I can't control it. I would try not to. I would try sleeping in different positions. I'd say, well, let me try wadding the pillow up and putting it behind my head this way, or I'm going to make sure I sleep on my stomach or sleep on my side. And I considered the surgery as well because I figured there's no way some product on TV was going to fix a problem that I'd had. And so we buy it, it shows up, I put it in, didn't have any trouble falling asleep, and remember waking up in the same bed and not having been nudged in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you forgot it when we went to the cabin. That was not fun.
No.
Well, the only time he's forgotten to take it on an out-of-town trip, and it was like stepping back into time.
Z Quiet works for both men and women. Go to getzquiet.com and enter promo code SLEEP to save 20%. That's getzquiet.com, promo code SLEEP to save 20%. That's getzquiet.com, promo code SLEEP.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is your show where we get to talk about things that are happening in the tech world. Our topics are varied. Sometimes we'll go into science and physics. We're big supporters of business and entrepreneurs, and so we took the time here to bring Greg Bartholomew and also Dino Siena. Is that it? Siena? Sensia. Okay, but into the program today, share some stories and what they've got going on. So let's go to Greg here. Why don't you give us some more details? If somebody wants to go to the event, how do they secure tickets, and give us all the details again?
Real quick, you can come into either one of my 2 stores. 1-day passes are $15. 2-day passes are $25 if you buy them before the event, or you can go to www.youngstowncomiccon.com. You can order the 2-day passes online if you are not from the area. But in the technology thing, one of my friends' children is on the Warren Harding robotics team, and we're going to try to set up a Fortnite donation thing there where you come play Fortnite and donate to the robotics team too. So we're working on that. So that's my hook for the technology set, part of this show. So we're hoping we can get to where 4 or 5 people can play at once. Pay $5 for a half an hour. It all goes to the Warren G. Harding robotics team.
Oh, that's cool. And so just like always, I ask that the listeners of this program support our entrepreneurs. Make sure you guys show up. Make sure you tell people about it, that this is coming to town, because I want promoters to have an easy time when they come to this area, so they keep doing awesome things in our downtown. If we make it easy for them, whereas if we don't make the advertising so super expensive that it exceeds what they can do business wise here, if we keep it and promote and help and just I'll come down to the show and buy a ticket no matter if I have any interest in it whatsoever. Right? I've never bought a comic book.
Free tickets.
No, I want to pay. I want to be a supporter. I want to make sure.
Appreciate that.
Sure, for sure. But I'm asking all of you to support our local business people and entrepreneurs to make sure that we can be doing great stuff like this. So name the 2 places they can buy tickets at again.
All American Comics in Boardman at the top of the hill between McDonald's and Jay's, or downtown Warren on the square on Market Street, right behind the Warren Courthouse.
And you said $15 for a day pass.
$15
right?
for a day pass. Children 6 and under are free.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you, Greg, for coming down and sharing your information about the show. I'll keep my eye on you on social media, and we'll check in with you and see how things are coming along. Anything changes, let us know, and we'll be happy to let the audience know. We're going to take this break. We'll come back, take some more of your phone calls. If you want to text me, 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
So how is the retirement bucket list going? Copeland Oaks can help you find time to start checking off those exciting things on your bucket list. This is Dan Rivers. Choose a lovely, spacious ranch home or apartment and leave the mowing and the painting and the fixing up to Copeland Oaks. The campus offers golf, fishing, hiking, swimming, an active, fun-filled lifestyle. Copeland Oaks Retirement Community, located in nearby Sebring, just off 62. Find them on the web at copelandoaks.com or visit the campus to see for yourself. Copeland Oaks Retirement Community, beyond expectations and within reach.
Here's what's happening. A Brookfield man wants answers after somebody shot his dog. The dog was found Thursday evening at a neighbor's house covered in blood. The owner, Robert McIntyre, says he let the dog outside shortly after he heard gunshots. The dog's being treated in Akron. The Trumbull County Coroner's Office identified the body that was found in the Mahoning River near Perkins Park earlier this week. 27 First News says investigators used dental records and identified the body as belonging to 17-year-old Brian Ayala of Warren. Valley Senator Michael Ruley's not sold on details of a new clean energy bill known as House Bill 6. Members of the Ohio General Assembly changed a measure dealing with clean energy and added language to help bail out owners of nuclear and coal-fired power plants. There's new charges against the man already registered as a sex offender for raping a child. Sean Unger has been indicted on rape and gross sexual imposition charges with sexually violent predator specifications. Prosecutors say Unger repeatedly assaulted a young girl between February of last year when he finished up a rape sentence and December when he was sent back to prison for violating terms. From the Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 3. Cool your home for summer. Call Maz's Air Conditioning in Girard. 330-545-6063. Your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
An isolated shower or storm is possible this afternoon. A better chance this evening with a gusty, stronger storm possible later in the day. Saturday night, the risk continues before temperatures fall to the mid-60s for the start of your Sunday. In the Storm Team 27 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alexis Walters.
Hey there, Dan Rivers. You know, recently, selling your home has become a complicated process. Tune in and listen to the agent who guarantees to sell your home or she'll buy it. Kelly Warren, Sunday mornings, 8 a.m., 570 WKBN.
The Lakes at Jefferson, Shenango Valley's only resort-style senior living community, currently has open independent living apartments and personal care studios. This brand new facility is on Route 62, halfway between Mercer and Hermitage. It offers luxury amenities at an affordable rate, with no additional cost for levels of care. Call 724-704-0039 or visit thenugentgroup.com today to schedule a tour. Follow us on Facebook for information on our upcoming events.
Find out more about how you can help to improve our air quality. Get today's air quality forecast and the extended forecast. Help preserve the air you breathe for you and your family. You need it to live, and you use it every day. MahoneyValleyAir.org. Information for your future.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxitril, the all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxitril is so powerful, that's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitril free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitril dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-993-1560. That's 800-993-1560. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-993-1560. 800-993-1560.
What happened?
You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee, and you're even getting up at night to go. This is not okay. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 prostate formula, are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. To celebrate, we're sending free bottles to men who want to cut down on bathroom trips. Yes, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Call 1-800-252-8940. P3 Advanced has clinically tested non-prescription ingredients to support your prostate. Combine that with a reduction in urges to pee, and you have a formula you'd be crazy not to try. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-252-8940. 1-800-252-8940. 1-800-252-8940.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. Greg and Dino are both going to stick with me for the rest of the program. We're going to talk a little bit about some gaming stuff. Dino was one of those ones. Remember, I kind of share with you that our listening group is very loyal, and they stick with us, and they support our endeavors. And Dino's one of those guys who came to every one of our gaming tournaments. Just like Greg, that it's a big vacancy here in Youngstown is that we have schools that are starting to participate in esports. We have tournaments in Cleveland and Pittsburgh. We do not have a big gaming tournament here in Youngstown, and so privately, we have like private groups that do their own. There's a couple groups at YSU that meet. There's a couple groups in Warren that meet, but nothing that is a major entry tournament. And so I felt like, we needed to put something together. Part of that whole process was Youngstown Computer, getting up to speed on the whole gaming thing. We used to play games like Total Annihilation and World of Warcraft, and we haven't been in the gaming scene for a while. I know that a lot has advanced since the last time we played, and so Dino and his group is basically taken us under their wing, giving us an advisement on what we should be doing and how we should run these events. And we started out with a Nintendo Legacy consoles, and we played some older games. We played Super Mario Brothers the first time around, and this gave us a really inexpensive entry into it. We got to field out our how we were going to stage the tournaments and what the rules were going to be, how we were going to do entries, and I don't we've made some adjustments as we go along, but since Dino being there, Dino, you've been there since the first one.
The first one in March. I think it was March 23rd. I think it was. Well, I kept seeing this one post on my Facebook kept coming up over and over, and it said Super Mario Brothers Tournament. And I'm like, what is this? And I think you get to play the first game from 1983 or 84 to 85 when the Nintendo came out, and
I was alive then.
Yeah,
this event kept coming up and over, so I decided to ask Dad if me and Justin could attend to this. So we decided I would like to do that. So
now, how old are you, Dino?
I'm 31.
Okay, and so were you alive when it came out the first time, or how did you get exposure to Super Mario?
The first time I came upon a video game console was my cousin Jeffrey had the first Nintendo Entertainment System, and he saved me a copy of the console of the Nintendo in one of my rooms, and he decided to get me into video games. So that's how I got into video games, thanks to my cousin. And I got into video games like Super Mario Brothers, Sonic, mostly not sports games. I like sports games sometimes, but I just like to follow my favorite video games like Mario and Sonic.
All right. And Greg, what about you? What was your first game?
Atari 2600.
There we go. That's going
I think
back.
Christmas of 78 or 79.
but I grew up with Mario. That's the first game came upon. Yeah.
Yeah, our first computer was an Atari 1200 XL without even a keyboard. And then my brother bought a Macintosh in like 85 or 86.
We got to be about the same age then.
I'm 52.
You're 52? All right.
I'm a geezer.
All right.
And
you look real young, man. I wouldn't have guessed 52. No way.
Did you get that?
It's the stress.
Tell about that business card I gave you.
Yeah, so Dino's, like I said, he's been instrumental in hooking us up with people who are in this industry. He's sort of like the ambassador for gaming. And he handed me a card from Stone Age Gamer. And you're suggesting that we kind of work in Salem, and you're suggesting that we maybe cooperate with these guys and see if we can do some, help them get involved in the tournaments and attract more people to them. Yeah, absolutely. So Stone Age Gamer, that's a cool business card too. It's a controller pad. So pretty cool.
Thank you.
Also, he handed me Dino's Oldies Hour. He gave me some propaganda for your radio show.
goldenstringradio.org.
You got a great radio voice, man.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. And so the next tournament, Dino and I were speaking off air about what the next tournament we're planning on bringing. He and Justin have been sort of really advocating that we do Smash Brothers, right?
Yeah, Smash Brothers.
On the Switch. And I sort of had that on the radar. But the investment into the equipment is the only thing I've been kind of pushing back because I don't know if I had the chops to even pull these things off. I didn't know if my rules were good enough or the facility was big enough or I can even do it. So these guys helped me test out whether or not it could be done. So we did proof of concept because of you guys. Now that it's been proven out, we're going to start investing into the consoles. Do you play any PC games whatsoever?
Like computer games?
Yeah.
Well, I used to play a game called, you ever heard of a computer game called Midtown Madness or a car racing game or something?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
I used to play that game.
Okay. What about you, Greg? You play anything on the PC?
The last game I bought was Madden 94 for the Sega.
Madden 94.
So it's been 25 years I've been video game.
So don't you
free.
think the comics and the gamers, are they the same group of people?
They are to some aspect. You've got comic book readers, you got guys that like to play miniature war games, you got guys that like to play PC games. They all kind of, go together once in a while. Somebody will get into this, they'll get out of that, but it's the same core of people that, might go this way and somebody might go that way for a different type of entertainment purpose.
You know what I'm thinking? Next year, I'm going to run a technology expo, and I'm going to do a tournament during the technology expo. But if we've got some overlap in the people that show up at this, maybe we do a hybrid between tournament and whatever.
Sure,
maybe we hook up on that.
I'd be more than happy to help promote or, throw in any type of my so-called expertise in running some type of, event like that. Like I said,
you get double the mileage out of the advertising?
We don't have the room at the Cavelli Center because people are always like, you got to add gaming to this, either video gaming or role play or even cards. And it's like, I don't have the room. But I said that's a whole separate event.
Heck
so if we could do something like that, I'd be more happy.
I'm sure are there venues bigger than what Cavelli offers in here? It's the biggest.
That's the biggest.
The biggest one, and you got it occupied.
30,000 square feet between the floor and then the outer hallways.
Well, what about you? Do 2 days, right? You do
2 days.
What days do you do?
Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. So if I did Friday, you make it a 3-day event and have the gaming tournament lead into the 2 days of the comic book thing, and then we're not competing for floor space.
Well,
I guess you're
dealers,
set up.
My dealers come in on Friday to set up
okay.
because some of the booths they set up take 5 or 6 hours to put together.
All right, so I'm just dreaming out loud here.
Fine.
We'll do something. We'll do something. Okay, so anyway, so the next game that Dino and I are conspiring is we're going to try to do something with the Nintendo Switch the second week of July. That would be July 13th. And we're going to try to do it about the same time frame, but we're introducing a new game. Now, when you play Smash Brothers in a competitive standpoint, do you have any experience on it? Do you know how you would compete? It's a racing game, right?
No, it's a game where Nintendo characters fight each other.
Okay.
Super Smash Brothers.
Gotcha. So we could do bracket play where you go 1-on-1 and then we have elimination just like we do for Tecmo Bowl.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's do that. Now, are there characters that have an advantage
They're
over
mostly like between Nintendo characters and Sega characters.
Are there stronger ones? Like there's an advantage if you pick this character over that one?
Who
do you pick?
I usually pick Pikachu because he's the best.
See, there you go. You got a ringer in there, right? So on the Tecmo Bowl, that was sort of the same thing that we dealt with there, where there was teams that were better than any other ones. So you only got to use a team once in the tournament. So after you've used Pikachu, you can't use Pikachu in round 2 or round 3.
Yeah, you have to pick other characters.
Exactly. So that if you
like we picked like the like the Cleveland Browns and the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly. So someone told me that Bo Jackson was unstoppable in Tecmo Bowl. So if you pick that, well, what would happen is if you could do that and you could pick Bo Jackson in round 1, which meant that you could win it. But what happens then if the round 2 person picks that same team and then they're unstoppable?
The first winner will pick the characters like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I did a poll on Facebook about the games that sort of sucked everybody's soul out of them, and it was varied. There was mine was SimCity. That was my poison. I could get into that game and it could just draw me, and I could spend weeks playing SimCity. What about you guys? What's your?
When I would work afternoon turns at GM teaching, after the classes were done at 9 o'clock, I had 3 hours to kill because I had to work till midnight, and we had SimCity still on the disc. And I'd just sit there and just build. I was like, I got to leave. Yeah, it's like it's been 3 hours. I got to take off. But yeah, that was one of the games that I would play in transit. Just this looks cool. And Carmen Sandiego too. You'd sit there and like, all right, I'm done with that. Next, but those other games that lasted forever, you would just sit there and go lose 5 hours.
Right.
Still
and
do.
Dino, what game on this planet has taken more time from you than any other game?
I guess Super Mario Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, Tekken. Mostly my favorite games.
All right.
Mine I had to put quarters in.
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah.
What
Stand up.
Which
Tron.
one? Tron?
Oh, my goodness. That was a great game. We'd go up to Geneva on the lake, and they'd still have arcades, and you'd sit there with $4 in quarters and last, hopefully, 3 or 4 hours of things like that.
Mine was Paperboy. I would play that stinking game forever.
That was a good game. That was a good game.
But we loved Tron. That was the game back in '84.
Dating yourself.
I am dating myself.
All right, so Dino has a story for us. So you want to share that story with us now?
Yes.
Go ahead.
There's a man from Youngstown, Ohio. His name is Jim Cummings. He is a voice actor for Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Tasmanian Devil, Darkwing Duck, and many others. He was born in Youngstown, Ohio, and he went to St. Columba, and he graduated at Ursuline High School in 1970, and he was mostly the class clown. He was the class clown that he would get kicked out of class by making these funny noises like dolphin noises and all these funny voices, because when he was a kid he used to mimic cartoon character voices, and he's a voice actor from Youngstown, and he voices a lot of cartoon characters, and like he he graduated from Ursuline, and then he did a lot of cartoon characters, and he was the class clown of Ursuline High School.
What was his name?
Jim Cummings.
Jim Cummings. I'm going to look him up. See, I've never heard of him.
Where does he live now, Dino?
He lives in California.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
He's famous now.
He's famous.
That's where you have to go.
Him and Ed O'Neill. Who's
Yeah.
the more famous Ursuline grad, him or Mr. Al Bundy himself? Maybe they're in the same class.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is Al?
No,
I don't know when.
Ed O'Neill was born in the 40s. Jim Cummings was born in 52.
Okay, so he's a couple of years younger.
All right,
Ed's older.
You got it. Dino is a wealth of information as far as this stuff goes. So you got another one for us? Go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Rob Paulson, he is a voice actor who does Yakko Warner and Pinky and the Brain, and he was a voice actor, and he does Comic-Cons, and he does all those cool voices like Jim Cummings does.
What's your fascination with the voice? Why that over animators or actors or?
Well, when I grew up watching cartoons, I just loved watching the characters and along with the voice. I would love to meet the voice actors in the one day near future. But that's what I've been doing, for trying to be a PR man, trying to meet these voice actors and stuff.
Now, do you follow the Hanna-Barbera and the Disney and those guys too?
I follow Hanna-Barbera, Disney, Warner Brothers, and many others.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, I follow Rescue Rangers too. Yeah.
Rescue Ranger. What was that?
Chippendale Rescue
Oh,
Ranger.
all right. That brings back. I remember that song. The song was just playing through my head. All right, I do. Let me do some text messages here. During the program, people ask questions computer-wise, and this came in a couple minutes ago. I have a small laptop, want a larger screen. Is all-in-one a good choice? If so, which one? I only surf the internet. Okay, so all-in-one machines, I'm not a real big fan of, and the reason being, usually they'll build it using parts that are smaller, just like in laptops. But they're not built for mobility. So we find the number one computer that would come into our office for repairs were these all-in-one machines. They're incredibly hard to disassemble and replace components on. So they end up having, they're lower cost to get into, but then you're maintaining it, your costs and your repair costs are higher than anything else. So like on my wife's desk, we just needed something to get on the internet, something super cheap. So getting a $400 all-in-one, knowing that I'm not going to put really important stuff on the machine and it's a throwaway. If you chalk it up as being a throwaway, then sure enough. But you're going to get kind of put it on the calendar that you're going to get a good 4 years out of it before you're going to have to purchase another piece of equipment. Not a big fan. I mean, I'll buy them when I have to, but the only reason I'll buy them is because they're of their cost. If you end up paying, $1,200-$1,300 for an all-in-one, what's going to happen is that it's going to have higher specs. So it's going to have a CPU that's halfway decent with enough memory and whatnot, but there's not a whole lot of space for them to do air circulation. So they run a little bit hotter. And then the components really don't last as long as they do in a traditional tower machine. So if space is a consideration, then for sure go ahead and do it. But if you can stow a tower underneath the desk, that's always going to be the preferred way because that allows you to have the best heat dissipation. Because that's the number one killer of this equipment is if it gets hot. Also, when now that the weather's getting nicer, leaving your cell phones and your computers in a pack in your seat, or behind the seat or something like that, it gets super hot in your car. And I'm telling you, the equipment takes a big beating when it gets too hot. The screens, the batteries, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to start a fire and have your batteries popping. So be real careful to make sure you take that equipment indoors with you and keep it cool. And so you don't have, a battery that doesn't last but 20 minutes on, off the charger. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, take some more of your messages. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be back.
Hey guys, what puts a bigger smile on your face than driving around in a clean, older four-wheel drive truck? Imagine pulling into the hardware store in that lifted 85 Chevy K20, or getting all the thumbs up driving down the road in that 76 F-250 Highboy. This is Joe Fire from Fireball Motors. We sell those trucks. We specialize in non-rusty West Coast trucks from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that are under 10 grand. We are located on Route 422, just an eighth mile from the PA border, or online at fireballtrucks.com. And remember, Fireball means four-wheel drive.
Groover Roofing and Siding, locally owned and operated since 1995. From roofing to siding to windows to chimney and gutter repair, Groover Roofing and Siding was built on a reputation of commitment to customer satisfaction and quality products, making Groover the Valley's leader in renovation and restoration. Groover Roofing and Siding, your home improvement specialists. Learn more now at grooverroofingandsiding.com.
Quality, style, and function all made in factories right here in the USA. Hi, I'm Denise Tafala, and I'm talking about Pella Windows and Doors. This is one of the many reasons why Pella is the most preferred window brand in Northeast Ohio. Right now, you can save up to $100 off windows and $400 off patio doors. Plus, make no payments and pay no interest for 12 months. Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaYoungstown.com.
So how is the retirement bucket list going? Copeland Oaks can help you find time to start checking off those exciting things on your bucket list. This is Dan Rivers. Choose a lovely, spacious ranch home or apartment and leave the mowing and the painting and the fixing up to Copeland Oaks. The campus offers golf, fishing, hiking, swimming, an active, fun-filled lifestyle. Copeland Oaks Retirement Community, located in nearby Sebring, just off 62, Find them on the web at CopelandOaks.com or visit the campus to see for yourself. Copeland Oaks Retirement Community, beyond expectations and within reach.
Great planting beds start with fresh mulch from Altier's Home and Garden Center. Start with Altier's very popular double shredded brown mulch or their color enhanced double shredded mulch in black, brown, and red tones. Now is also the time to start prepping your garden soil. Altier's makes it easy with leaf compost or mushroom compost. Haul the mulch or compost yourself or ask Altier's about their same-day delivery. Call today, get it today. Open 7 days a week. Altier's Home and Garden Center, South Avenue at the corner of McClurg Road in Boardman.
It's happening to you every night. One snores and the other can't sleep. But now, there is a quick and easy-to-use solution. A natural solution. Snore Stop, the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S.
Thank you, Snore Stop. You saved my marriage.
It's time to try Snore Stop and make every night a better night for both of you. Spray or tablets are available today at Rite Aid and CVS or online at snorestop.com.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee, and you're even getting up at night to go. This is not okay. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 prostate formula, are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. To celebrate, we're sending free bottles to men who want to cut down on bathroom trips. Yes, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Call 1-800-215-9360. P3 Advanced has clinically tested non-prescription ingredients to support your prostate. Combine that with a reduction in urges to pee, and you have a formula you'd be crazy not to try. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
The iHeartRadio app has become #1 for podcasts, with a catalog that has exploded to over 250,000 of the best podcasts from around the globe.
Hello, friends. This is Ron Burgundy.
It's Jake Brennan, host of Disgraceland.
And I'm Chelsea Handler, and you can find Life Will Be the Death of Me on the free iHeartRadio app.
The iHeartRadio app makes it easy to find the perfect podcast for you. Get the entire universe of audio with one touch. Your music, your stations, and now #1 for podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. There's a call out there. Let me just see what this call. Bob, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hi, how you doing today?
Real good.
I have a question concerning my MBPS with my cable for my internet. Now, I currently have 100, and we are in a condo community, and they are going to be switching to a 300 Mbps, with each unit having an individual bubble, Wi-Fi bubble, whatever that is. I'm not even sure what it is, in each unit. Now, I've been hearing that is possibly a bigger security risk than like we have it now with just the way the cable is, like everyone else has, rather than this bubble, and then it'll have the box, will have the router and modem and cable. It's all going to be in one box. Do you think that poses more of a risk for the Wi-Fi than a normal setup?
All right, Bob, I really wish you'd have called a little bit early in the program. I'd like to field this out. Maybe next week we'll take this call and go into it a little deeper, because this is going to take some explanation. Simple is, when you are coupled with other people, you got to be able to trust all of those sources. And when you're in a shared space like that, there's a host of things that you got to be careful of. But that, again, I want to give this its due. So why don't you call back next week and I'll field this properly. I want to give these guys a chance to be able to plug their stuff. So Dina, why don't you tell everybody where when your show's on?
Every Monday from 6 to 7 and every Thursday from 6 to 8.
And this is Golden Strings Radio?
On goldenstringradio.org, www.goldenstringradio.org, on TuneIn and on the internet.
And on Facebook Live as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And Greg, why don't you tell us again, plug the Comic-Con.
Youngstown Comic-Con, July 6th and 7th at the Cavelli Center.
All right. Well, make sure you support these guys, listen to their programming, and also join Greg and join his event. Check. And again, it's a really popular event. Again, my favorite is the people who dress up as their favorite characters, and they put a lot of effort into the designing of their costumes and their get-up. Very impressive. So, guys, thanks for joining me for this program.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week. and we'll check in with these guys and keep our eyes on them to see how things are progressing. So again, thanks, guys. All right, you've now listened to the Youngstown Computer Show. Have a great week.